going on, everybody? Shout out to you for coming through. It's your boy 1PTA. Another day with the Hall of Famers of America. The Hall of Famers of America, the legends. How y'all doing today, man? I hope y'all doing good. I told you I was going to make a follow-up to the last video that talked about bad habits to have as you get older. Today's video, I'm going to talk about good habits to have or great habits to have as you get older. A lot of these habits, you probably gonna think they cliche. However, I'm gonna tell you that they might be cliche, but they become really, really important later on in old age, from what I have seen. Oh man, but anyway, man, bingo beef. Oh my goodness. I saw some real life bingo beef the other day. Look, let me explain something to you. I work in two different states, okay? I work in the state of Maryland and the state of Delaware. I don't know if you're familiar with those two states. I'm born and raised in Baltimore City. And did you know Maryland was considered, I believe, the wealthiest state in the country? Out of 50 states in the United States, Maryland is I'm not gonna say by far. Maryland is considered the wealthiest state. Now, I don't know what metric. I don't know if that means more billionaires and millionaires. I don't know, but it is definitely considered the wealthiest state in America. And Delaware is very, very close to it. So I get to work at a range of facilities because one day I might work at, I want to say ghetto. I'm not going to say ghetto. I'm going to say a facility that's located in urban areas. We'll just call it that. A facility that's located in urban areas. And then another day or next week, I might work at a facility that's located by the beaches of Delaware, where there's very, very affluent people that live down there. So I get like different cultures. You'd be surprised how many different cultures are in like one state. The state of Delaware has many different cultures. If you go down by the beaches, it's more of a beach culture. It's more of a, I don't know how to describe it. It's totally different from the part of Delaware that borders with Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, like up by Wilmington. The culture is totally different. It's interesting because Delaware is like this, I think it's the second smallest state in the country after Rhode Island. So it's very different to when you work in different parts. I'll go hang out with one culture and then I'll go down and hang out with another culture, and it's just like, it's totally different. Maryland is the same. Totally different cultures all over Maryland. Baltimore City is where I hail from, and the culture in Baltimore is totally different from the culture in, I don't know, let's say Chester, Maryland, you know? So sometimes I might work at a more urban facility, skilled nursing facility, also known as a nursing home. But then I also might work at a facility that's more suited towards, let's say, the affluent of society. Well, anyway, I was working at an urban facility. Some of the most interesting things happen at urban facilities. Not everybody can stomach it. Not everybody can deal with it. Not everybody can work at these facilities. I flourish because I'm from the urban areas, so I can relate. I also can work at the affluent facilities. I love going there too. But I was at an urban facility, let's call it that, and I witnessed bingo beef. I needed a patient, and she was bingo. Bingo was like a half an hour from starting. I had a whole half an hour before it started. And when bingo is a half an hour from starting, people start crowding. People start getting, because you want to get a good seat, you want to get a good card, you know, you want to do this, you want to do that, you want to get situated and ready for the festivities to begin, because it's a big, big deal. When I tell you, ask anybody who works in a nursing home, ask them about bingo. It is a big deal. You will get cussed out if you try to get somebody for therapy while they playing bingo, you will get ran out the room. You will get refused. You better make sure you tailor your therapy around bingo. But anyway, I had a half an hour and the lady was in bingo. She was getting ready she was actually helping pass out cards. That's what she likes to do. She likes to pass out cards. So I went in the activities room. I'm like, man, please, I only got a half an hour with you. Let me get a little half an hour of therapy before you play bingo. Then boom, boom, you'll be refreshed. You'll be energized. You'll be pumped. And then you could do bingo. And I guarantee you're going to win. Like I'm trying to bribe her to come to therapy just for a little bit before she starts bingo. Because bingo can, oh my goodness. Bingo in some places will run from like 1:30 p.m. I've seen it run up to like 5:30 p.m. Usually it's like 1:30 to 3:30, but this place runs it from 1:30 to 3:30. Oh my goodness, those poor activities people. But anyway, I don't usually like to interrupt bingo. I don't usually like to go in there because I know you got to understand when bingo is going on and the therapists walk in the bingo room, you should see the eyes. Everybody's looking at you. Everybody's like, uh-oh, who he coming to get? Who's she coming to get? Uh-oh, what are they doing? And even the activities people, oh no, who you taking? Because a lot of times you got to rearrange chairs and you got to get wheelchairs out and you know, you got to, excuse me, you got to move furniture and stuff to get people out. But we got to do what we got to do. Okay? But the lady, she did not want to come to therapy. I tried to get her to come to therapy. She did not want to come. And then all of a sudden, bingo beef broke out. Another lady across the way on another table. Why don't you go to therapy? You need to get up and walk anyway. And the lady was like, oh, you shut up and mind your business. He wasn't talking to you. Don't worry about what I got to do. You worry about what you like. They started beefing. And I felt like I was a part of it. I felt like I caused the beef. They start fussing back and forth. And then a dude jumped in. Won't both of y'all shut up so we can get ready for this game? Oh, yo, it was crazy. I've heard about bingo beef. I've heard about it. And then somebody start blaming somebody for cheating. She only like to pass out the cards so she can get the good ones because she's always cheating. Oh, you shut up. You just mad because you're a sore loser. Yo, they started going off. Oh my goodness. I had to slowly back away. You know, like Homer Simpson backs away into the bushes. I slowly backed away because it was getting crazy. Bingo beef. I don't usually see bingo beef at the affluent areas. I see more gossip. But bingo beef, you come to I'm not going to say the hood. I'm going to say the more urban facilities. You might see some bingo beef. So note to you, man, if you work in elder care, skilled nursing facilities, be careful with bingo. Okay? Whew. All right, y'all. Good habits to keep as you get older. These are things that I see amongst the elderly that sometimes it I'm like, okay, I might walk into a room, see somebody doing something. I'm like, okay, that's why you're so sharp. All right, that is why you're so active. That's why you're in good shape. I'll sometimes see the habits that they keep and I'll understand why they are a certain way. I'll see the bad habits and I'll be like, okay, that's why you weak. Because you like to stay in the bed till 2 p.m. You don't like to get up. That's why you keep falling. That's why you're weak. And then I'll give you an example. Let's start with the first one, okay? Good habits to keep as you get older. Just moving. You might think it's cliche. You might say duh, but hear me out. The bed gets comfortable when you reach a certain age. The bed gets comfortable when you start having certain ailments and aches and pains. The bed gets comfortable when you have fractures, when you have hip replacements, knee replacements, joint replacements. The bed gets comfortable. The recliner gets comfortable. When you have chronic low back pain, the bed gets comfortable. The recliner gets comfortable. When you're taking opioids for all of these pain, when you got neuropathy, the bed gets comfortable. The chair gets comfortable. So many other things. The recliner gets comfortable when you're not feeling well. If you got a history, if you got vertigo, dizzy spells, the bed gets comfortable, the recliner gets comfortable. I'm talking after when you start to get up in age. However, when you start to do that, when you start to develop this, more problems happen. So movement is important, man. You gotta move. Okay? You have to move. I've seen miracles happen. You ask people who have been in therapy, man, how much therapy has helped them. Miracles have happened because of therapy. I have seen patients recover fully from strokes. I'm talking, can barely use one whole side of your body. Do you even know what that's like? Go from barely using one side of your body to rehabbing through therapy and gaining full function back. And patients come back to the facility, be like, hey y'all, look at me. And our eyes are like, wow, you did great. True rehab success stories. Movement. When's the last time you reached all the way up in the sky? I can't do it because this car is so tight, my little lunchbox. When's the last time you reached all the way up into the sky? Did you know that after we reach a certain age, I believe it's like mid-60s, we stop reaching over our heads? Like, I read this in a study. I like reading studies. We stop reaching above our heads. We might reach to get something out of a cabinet or something, but just generally reaching up, we start limiting ourselves. There's another thing. We stop at about 40 years old. I read that we stop sprinting. When's the last time you sprinted? Are you over 40? When's the last time you just opened the door, walked out the house, and ran as fast as you can down the street? When is the last time you did that? I'm guilty. I haven't done it in a while. And I used to jog. A little over a mile 5 days a week. I stopped doing it because I was having some knee issues. So I haven't sprinted in a long time. But there's something to be said about moving. You got to stay moving. You have to keep moving, man. Just reach over your head. Literally, I want you to reach for the stars. I know they tell that to kids in middle school and elementary school, but you literally should reach for the stars every once in a while. Just reach over your head, stretch to the side. If you feel something, a little relief, something feels tight, that's a good move to do, just reaching. I got a comparison. There was a facility that I worked in about, I don't know, maybe 3 years ago. I had a 97-year-old guy. I might have told this story. 97-year-old guy in one room, and 2 doors down, it was like a young 56-year-old guy in his late 50s. 97-year-old in one room. I would come into the facility early in the morning. I'm an early bird. I would always come in early in the morning. I would come in about 7 a.m. I would walk past both rooms. Okay? 56-year-old is still in the bed. The 97-year-old, did I say 97? 97-year-old, I remember him because he's from Baltimore. 97-year-old is up in his chair, not a wheelchair, but just sitting in his chair, not a recliner, sitting in his chair, fully dressed from head to toe. I'm talking shoes, slacks, a belt, and a button-up shirt. And the story he told me, I worked with him in therapy, the story he told me maybe 30-something years ago when he retired, he had a plan. And his plan was to make sure he got up in the morning and acted as if he was going to go to work. Meaning he got dressed, got clean, brushed his teeth and all of that, got fully dressed from head to toe, but he wasn't going to work. He said he would go down and make breakfast, and he would maybe take a walk if it was nice out. And that way he was up for the day. It helped him stay refreshed. It helped him actually do things instead of just staying in the bed. Meanwhile, the 56-year-old down the hall, he's probably stayed in the bed till like 2 p.m. Would not get up. If we had him on therapy, we knew we weren't going to see him till the late afternoon. This is an example of constant movement. You have to keep moving. You have to. Okay? There's so many benefits to it. So many benefits. So just move. Don't stop moving. Don't get too comfortable. Especially as you get older. Okay? The next one, reading. Oh, this is one that I recently found. I'm 44 years old. I found reading maybe at 39. I hated reading. Hated it. Couldn't stand it. But one thing I learned from the elderly is when I work with somebody who's sharp in old age, one thing they usually have in common is they like to read. I love it when I walk into an 80 or 90-year-old person's room and they have books next to their bed on the nightstand or on the bottom of their bed. I love it, man. I love it. And I love hearing about what they're reading and, you know, just them explaining and remembering the stories. I absolutely love it. A lot of them might need their glasses. A lot of them might need the magnifiers. But the readers tend to be very, very sharp later in life. And that's one thing that I kind of regret not doing earlier, was reading more. But now I'm an avid reader. Me personally, I like audiobooks. Something about audiobooks, I retain the information better than reading an actual book. I can, but audiobooks, when I hear it, when I hear the words, it works better for me. So I love reading. A couple book recommendations. If you have ever heard of a book called Ikigai, Ikagai, I believe, Ikigai. This is a book that talks about the oldest people in the world and how they're, it's this area in Asia called, I think it's called Okinawa, Japan. And that was where the most centurions live, the people who live to be 100. There's a lot of them concentrated there, and they have a lot of things in common. The way they eat, constant movement, they do Tai Chi, they only eat till 70%, meaning they get 70% full and then they're done. They leave room and then don't eat anymore. Meanwhile, us over here, we unbuckle our belts as soon as we sit down at the table. We know we about to eat like 100% past full. That's what we do. But this is some of the things that the book just talks about, some of the ways that they have maintained a healthy life, some of the things they practice, like multitasking, how that's not really a thing. It's just a wonderful book. It's just a wonderful book. I recommend it. Another book recommendation is Who Moved the Cheese? You ever heard that book? Who Moved the Cheese, or Who Moved My Cheese? Really good book. It's more of a parable, but it has some deep, deep meaning to it. Who Moved the Cheese? That's what I'm not currently reading that right now. I already read that. Ikigai was good. And a book called Die with Zero. You ever heard of that? Die with Zero. Interesting book. I don't agree with everything in the book, but I think it gives an interesting perspective on this, life and how we put away money and how we hoard money and think like I said, we're going to pass it on. This book talks about, you want to die with absolutely $0 to your name. It's an interesting perspective. I like it. It's a very good, very interesting read, So 3 book recommendations for you. All right, moving on. Walking. I know I said moving, but we're just going to say walking. You know how beneficial walking is to you. I don't think we emphasize it enough, how important it is to just walk. There's a lot of people I know would love to have the opportunity to walk, but they can't anymore. So I'm gonna put walking up there. I got a couple places with I got one place I go to with a 96-year-old, another place with a 98-year-old, both females. Whenever I hit the building, they're doing laps. They're just doing laps with their walkers, just doing their thing. They like to walk the building. Just constant walking. It goes along with moving, but walking is so vital and so important. So do what you got to do. I know we're getting ready to go into the hibernation time of the year, but you got to walk, man. Get you one of those walking pads. I know those things are popular right now. You have to walk. I can't overemphasize how important it is that you stay walking. All right? We talked about reading, walking, moving, religion. If you're a religious person, okay? I know not everybody is religious, but if you are a religious person, what I've seen from the older generation, those who are religious, who stay with their religion, who still keep their religion at the forefront, whatever that religion may be. I've met all different types of people from religious backgrounds. When they tend to keep their religion at the forefront, I usually see the best of them come out. What do I mean by that? I mean, generally speaking, religion encourages you to be a good human being, whatever that religion may be. from what I see. And when people bring it up, talk about their religion, talk about what their religion has done for them, and I'm talking all different kinds of religions, talking about what their religion has done for them, how it's helped them, whatever your beliefs may be. When you keep that at the forefront of your life, I have seen more people do well and thrive in old age as opposed to giving up, if that makes sense. Religion has motivated a lot of people. I have been standing next to people, literally holding them up in the air while they're trying to stand up, and they're just, please God, please, I'm gonna pray to Jesus that he can help me stand up. I have seen that become a real good source of encouragement and motivation for a lot of people. Okay, so if you're a religious person, if you fell off a little bit, it's good to get back on. If you feel what I'm saying, try to keep it as a focal point in your life, because an older age is very, very beneficial. All right, moving on. Social interaction. I know it's becoming popular to use the phrase, I don't like people. I see that a lot. I don't like people. I'd rather just be with my pets, or I like animals more than I like people. I understand where that comes from. I believe I do get where that comes from. However, I'm going to say when you get older, social interaction is going to be important. It's just going to be important. I have seen more people smile, have good times, have laughs. It's hard to laugh by yourself. And laughter is good for your health. I have seen more people, you're going to run into some knuckleheads. Yes, it's 9 billion people on the planet. You're going to run into some people that rub you the wrong way. But I'm encouraging you not to let that shut you off from social interaction, shut you off from people. And I know you've heard this saying about social media, how it's making us become less social. I was in a facility the other day. Haven't been in a while, so a lot of new faces. I don't know. I can't count on one hand how many people spoke to me. A lot of people had their heads in their phones. I'm talking about nurses at the nurses station, just sitting down. I had to introduce myself to a lot of people. I try to make it a point when I meet somebody new at a facility that I've been at for a while to introduce myself, to say hi to them, because I know how it is when you're in a new place and you don't know nobody. It can be a little stressful. So, social interaction, please don't give up to them. Go to bingo. Don't be beefing in bingo. But go to bingo. Stay away from the bingo beef, y'all. But social interaction is important. Even if you're a homebody, and I know it's no place like home, and you like to have your peace, don't let that completely turn you off to social interaction, to human beings, because I believe that's what it's about. We all need each other. I wholeheartedly believe that, based off of my experience in working with the older generation. So, social interaction is going to be beneficial in the late stages, and a lot of times when you get older, you yearn for it, you long for it, because you're not going to get much. So you long for it. That's how I'm able to tell you a lot of stories, because a lot of people I meet, I walk into a room, I'm walking in for therapy. But a lot of times it'll turn into a psychology session. And it's like, whoa, I didn't ask you that information, ma'am or sir. But they share it anyway, because they just like having somebody to talk to. So social interaction, please, please, please don't give up on humanity. We still need each other, right? What is another one? Keeping in touch with loved ones. You notice I said loved ones. I didn't say everybody. I didn't say family. I said loved ones, because your family, you could have 2,000 people in your family. Do I want you to keep in touch with all of them? No. You might not like some of your family. You might not want to be around some of your family. I don't know. But loved ones, that can be friends, that can be your children, that can be, mom and dad, that can be your brothers, your sisters. As you get older, that is very important, man. That is very important. I've seen many of people sit and wait for a call that they never get and become frustrated. I have seen many people try to call or reach out to somebody and they can't get in touch with them, and they get frustrated and depressed and stressed. I had a man who was in a facility, and after I think a week went by, everybody was visiting. I think I told this story. Everybody was visiting, sending cards, and everything was good, and he was motivated. And then like a whole week went by when none of his family reached out to him. Oh my goodness, he got really down on himself, really depressed. So keeping in touch with loved ones is very, very beneficial as we get older. Whew. All right, y'all. That is what I had. I'm sure there's plenty more. There's little things like nature, going outside. Please don't stop going outside and enjoying nature. You need it. Doing things like having plants around. Plants are very beneficial. I am a plant guy now. I grew up in Northeast Baltimore. I grew up in the hood, and now I love plants. I love them. They make me feel good. So going outside, enjoying nature, things like that, those things are very, very beneficial, especially as you get older. I love when I work in a facility where there's a courtyard where patients and the residents can go outside. I love to see it. I love to see it when they maintain it well, and the patients can go out and enjoy some time outside. I got a few patients that go outside all the time. Some patients we got to drag back in. It's like, oh, you've been out too long. They'll fall asleep out there. I've seen patients fall asleep out there. I've seen patients get sunburnt. I've seen patients like almost freeze and they don't want to come back in. So going outside, enjoying nature is very, very, very beneficial. All right, y'all. So those are some of the things that I see, some good habits to maintain as you get older. Yes, there are a lot more, but those are some that I wanted to touch on. Those are the ones that I see people really, really do good later on in life when they maintain some of those habits. All right, y'all. Thanks for all the comments, man. I appreciate it. I swear, like I said, if you're new here, man, I'm just a guy that's been spending a lot of time working with the older generation the past 15 years. And I started a YouTube channel to share some of the lessons, experiences, and the things that I've learned. No, I am not on some like enlightenment path to be the perfect older person. That's not what it's about, man. It's just about things that I see that are helpful as you get older, and also things that I see that are detrimental to you as you get older. But with that said, y'all, I wish y'all the best, man. I appreciate y'all for coming through. Remember, as always, respect your elders, respect the legends. Help people when you can, do good deeds. Y'all be cool. I'm gonna holler at y'all in the next video.